opening up the history books today, sharing stories from the past with inspiring messages for the future.
It's music to our ears. I mean, there's no question about it. We just love to hear the different sounds.
Like a big city airport.
Just constant amusement.
The arrivals and departures
Keeps me busy.
begin shortly after sunrise.
The pecking order really means something out here because there is a pecking order. Hope I don't trip.
Tom Hoekstra's back deck serves as Mother Nature's tarmac.
We love the bluebirds. We've got baby bluebirds and adult bluebirds all the time.
Like an air traffic controller,
That's a wren. That's a Carolina wren.
the bird watcher from Woodlake admires landings and takeoffs all day.
Catbirds, they're kind of aggressive. They chase the other birds away, but when they leave, all the other ones come in.
The 82-year-old and his wife Geo
Bluebirds and even cardinals.
even catalog their visitors.
I've started a list, actually, and so far my list includes 50 different species of birds.
Tom's lifelong obsession with flight began before he was born.
Aviation was his life.
In 1911, when Tom's father was just 9,
into the air.
he witnessed two famous pilots take flight.
There were hundreds, thousands of persons came to see these flights.
So he climbed a tree outside and looked over the fence and watched the Wright brothers' flight come in and out when he was 11-year-old.
There's Wilbur with one of his passengers.
I think from that moment on, he loved airplanes. This was 1964.
His dad pursued a career designing aircraft.
This is the Crosley Moonbeam.
The teen from Northern Virginia follows his father skyward.
I think I've got flight in my blood, in a sense. My dad was an aeronautical engineer. At this picture, I was probably about 32 years old, 33 years old.
But the younger Hoekstra was looking beyond 30,000 feet.
A group of us got together and formed what we called the Wakefield Rocket Society.
In 1966, the systems engineer joins NASA's Apollo space mission.
It was not a long program. It was done in an amazingly short time.
3 years later, Tom watches an astronaut practice moon landing at Langley Field in Virginia.
And at that point, it just didn't really sink in that this was as important as it ended up being.
The 29-year-old shares advice with the pilot.
So when you're coming into the moon, our attitude was let the computer fly the spacecraft as near to the surface of the moon as possible.
That astronaut, Neil Armstrong.
He was down to earth. He respected everything we said. He was just a gentleman, absolute gentleman.
Roger, Neil, we're reading you loud and clear.
Armstrong would take one small step into the history books.
I was in awe. I was in awe. He was just that kind of a guy.
Tom thought to capture the moment.
He signed my lab book to Tom, best wishes.
A signature for the ages.
Neil Armstrong, Apollo 11. And that was done in February of 1969.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
On July 16th, 1969,
This is Neil Armstrong.
Apollo 11 carrying astronauts Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins rockets from Earth.
Remember there being an edge. This is when they're going to send this thing off to the moon.
4 days later, with the world and Tom watching, the lunar module touches down.
540 feet and a 15.
I was taking notes as they descended to the moon. Neil Armstrong was calling out, "What is my elevation?"
NASA's top brass summons the young engineer to Washington.
That was kind of a very satisfying moment that I was able to at least give them a feeling of what actually happened and how successful that Armstrong was in landing that limb.
It's one small step for man,
It was amazement, relief.
one giant leap for mankind.
When we actually got it done, it was like, wow, amazing.
Tom would work on successive lunar missions, including Apollo 15,
All engines running.
which he witnesses in person.
I mean, and then seeing the thing just go up and the trail going up into the blue sky was just something that I'll never forget.
This snapshot, another treasured keepsake.
So this is a personally autographed photograph from the Apollo 15 astronauts.
More than half-century after the first lunar landing, this retired engineer reflects about the small role he played.
Everybody was focused 100% 2020 on a goal. Everybody was working together. Everybody was helping each other. we got it done successfully, and we can be, even 52 years later, be proud of the fact that we did that.
Tom Hoekstra, the bird watcher,
Carolina wren on top of the bird feeder.
who once helped humans spread their wings and plant their feet firmly on the moon.
250,000 miles away. That's a long way.
All right, we're going way back for this next one. I'm talking millions of years.
He is unlike any other paleontologist I've ever kind of encountered.
Hey, Papa, got a piece of bone.
We're really digging this one. It's good to know.